This episode was the bomb diggity.
Great episode. We had a fantastic guest, Alicia Padilla with Alicia Lucia Photography on. And man, the conversation was just really good. I felt like everything we talked about was very organic, and I loved her perspective on a lot of it, you know?
Yeah, and it's our longest episode to date, peeps. So make sure you hang in there on this one. It might take you a few car rides to get through it, but I guarantee you, for those of you that are vendors out there, there's going to be some great takeaways and some good nuggets from this one. So definitely listen all the way through. I think you're really going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, we touch on a lot of different things, but we do our grab bag, we do our back to the music section, and we get just a lot of different input from Alicia and her perspective from it, from the photographer's point of view, and a lot of different tidbits on the wedding, marketing, a bunch of different cool things on today's episode.
Lots of stuff. I say let's just get into it and get to it.
Let's jump into it. Let's go.
Let's go.
What do you like better, Christmas or wedding season?
Mr. Gray.
Yes. The answer would be wedding season.
Bingo.
Well, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ, so thank you.
Oh, well, good luck finding a DJ who can move and shake like this.
You are now listening to Cutmaster Cast.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the Cutmaster Cast, your favorite wedding industry podcast.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Chris.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tony Pacheco.
And we are DJs with Cutmaster Music out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you are not familiar with the show, we like to hit 3 areas, including our weekly events, wedding industry topics, including tips, tricks, and hacks, and of course, music. And today we have a very special guest joining us. She's a very popular and highly sought out local photographer and one of our favorite frienders to work events with. Let's welcome Alicia Padilla of Alicia Lucia Photography, everybody.
Yeah, let's give it up.
Hey, hi guys.
And this is actually the second time you've been with us in
That's
2
right.
weeks.
Yep.
Wasn't sure if we were gonna address
I
that
know.
or not.
We're going there.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little quick background here. This episode actually has already been recorded previously. It's going to go into the archives as one of the lost episodes.
One of the lost episodes.
Yeah, so
Patreon.
We had started it. We didn't get too far.
we didn't get too far in the first round last week. Unfortunately, one of these. I had an emergency happen with a kiddo, and literally had to walk up and leave mid podcast episode.
We were like, right in the middle of it. And he was like, guys, I got a family emergency. We're like, okay, go. Like,
There's just no question.
Exactly.
Family first always.
They were looking at me like, "What is this crazy?"
It was funny
doing
because
right now?
we were talking to each other, so we didn't know what was going on, and you were just like standing right there in the back, and so we're like trying to
Trying
engage.
to keep the conversation going with Tony.
We didn't know what was happening.
But I could feel the panic.
Yeah.
The energy was like.
I saw that.
Something's up.
Yep.
I saw the message come across my phone, and then the rest of the day just kind of blacked out for me at that
Oh,
point.
yeah.
But the good news is, little dude's doing just fine. Everything's all good,
Nice.
Yep.
and we are going to we're going to keep it moving. So yeah.
Little guy's all right.
Hey.
all good.
Evan's good. Okay, so I don't know. Before we get into it, we always like to start off the week talking about our events. So Alicia, did you have anything this weekend?
Yeah, we had 2 weddings. So we do any type of photography, but primarily focus on weddings and couples. So we did 2 weddings, and then we had a little senior session, little high school senior session. Yeah, because it's
Nice.
the season-ish.
Tis
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Yeah.
Tis the grad
Graduation
party
season.
season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we
Yeah.
did that.
All right.
Nice.
Fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony?
I am going to go off of the event that we had talked about because we didn't really talk about it, right?
yeah.
And so I did an event at Sandia Casino. It was really, really great. We were in the Eagle Ballroom, and what I liked about being in the Eagle is it's all kind of in one, where you have the ceremony, cocktail, dinner, and I really
Which one is that?
Eagle is right on the end, so it's
Okay.
so
The casino part of the
exactly.
property.
So
Okay.
you have like the event space, and
Yeah.
this is the casino, not the
Uh-huh,
event center. But this is not the main ballroom, but directly across, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have access to that outside patio,
nice.
and so that was nice.
Yeah.
I like the flow of that space because
Yeah.
you go ceremony cocktail into dinner, and so that worked out really well. They were a lot of fun. The guest count was maybe around 80, 90 people, but what I liked about that one is the guests were really intimate and like really knew each other. Everyone was really
Aw.
willing to party with each other, even though I feel like a lot of times with families, you get one side and one side
Yes.
having to try to figure it
Mhm.
out together.
Yeah.
And they were all very
Vibing.
familiar with each other,
Yeah.
and if you really felt that. We had done a fake exit, but it wasn't an exit. We did the light tunnel, which was really cool. What I liked about it is we were able to create like a Soul Train vibe, where we'd put them in the center of the dance floor. We had the LED foam tubes, and they would just go back and forth through the tunnel.
Oh my
But
gosh.
then grandma would walk through, the aunt and uncle would walk through, and it was just like,
I want to see the pictures.
yeah, I'll have to. Who shot it?
And we've talked about that
Blue Rose.
on the cast before.
Nice.
So tell us what your thoughts are on the faux exit. So I know like the whole purpose is so they get that picture, right?
Yeah.
With typically like the sparklers.
Yeah.
As DJs, we hate it, right?
As photographers, we also hate it. It's a
Okay.
misconception. I would say
Ah.
generally most photographers are just like, no.
Yeah.
We're like in the thick of it. We're getting burnt and eyelashes getting cinched and hair's like on fire too.
never
You know
thought of
what?
that, yeah.
Something I think the couples don't think about sometimes. I mean, they think about the sparklers. Your dress gets holes.
Yes.
Yeah, they get holes in the dress from
And that's like
from the sparks.
the least of your worries. I feel like drunk people and like
Mm,
open
and fire.
flame,
Yeah.
should not
They
be
don't
a
go
thing.
together.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
tough too because you're just sitting, or you've pretty much gotten all of your photos by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then you're having to wait till 11 o'clock for
Yeah.
just one.
So I like
shot.
hit up Cutmaster and get those foam LED
Yeah, there you go.
thingies and do a grand entrance
Yeah.
Exactly.
that way and get that type of like. I think
An
it's
entrance.
yes, exactly.
That's another great suggestion.
Yeah.
You get
Trademark.
that level up,
it.
right?
That's the official
up.
aha.
Now we're
Sound.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, though. If you create it at the beginning, you get the shot.
And people aren't as drunk,
Right.
yeah,
so they're more willing to listen and to,
And they just look
Yeah.
and they
There.
and they'll look better. Like,
exactly.
not all
Yeah.
disheveled
Right.
and like
you probably have a lot more lighting to work with
Yeah.
because it's in the middle of the day.
A couple
versus
probably
nighttime.
just got touched up because they were.
Ah.
see
so
They-
many benefits.
nuggets right there.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's what we do.
I like it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get into it here with Alicia and
Wait,
learn.
did you have an event? You didn't say.
I didn't.
No.
My
Oh, that's right.
I had the weekend off
Mhm.
and I was involved in basketball tournaments all weekend long again. So
Some basketball.
You were daddying.
I'm getting all the family time in now because once we start ramping up here, I get going too, and I have
Mhm.
weekly events coming up. So
Yeah.
I'm getting a little jealous of Tony over here because he's got
Cranking them
He's
out.
raving.
Yeah.
You know what we
I'm
do
on, like,
have
wedding number 6 or 7.
So nice.
next week. I'll finally have something. We'll both have something to talk about because we'll break a little news here that we are going to be the official DJs for the grand opening of Raising Canes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
That's what we need. Is we need a trap horn.
Yes.
That's a sound one. Oh, we do have it.
There it
Hey,
is.
I mean, come on. You can't. Every DJ's got that,
I
right?
want one so bad.
Soundboard with the trap horn.
But
yeah, we're
so
doing-
yeah, we're gonna do Raising
Congrats,
Canes.
guys. That's so fun.
Both my
you know
really
you
cool.
made it when you're working a Raising Canes
I
event.
mean, I've been waiting.
It's true.
I've been
no, seriously.
I've been preparing for this moment for about 25 years, and it's finally come. Raising
Love
Canes.
it.
It's going to be a challenging event for like logistical reasons, but honestly, very straightforward. We just are background high energy music.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
It's what do we say, 9.5 hours of DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there all day. Like start 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
7 a.m.
What the
Apparently,
heck?
people are getting their chicken fingers on at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, Raising Cane's fans are like cutthroat. They will.
That's
They'll
true.
rally for
And it's
7
the I
a.m.
was telling
chicken
Chris,
sandwiches.
Yeah, it's the first one in Albuquerque, so it's pretty big.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
Is there one in New Mexico?
No,
I don't think
the
so.
closest is El Paso.
Dang, really?
Mhm.
Yep.
Cool.
So we're gonna be
So good.
raising hell on the decks at Raising
Hell yeah.
Canes, and for all day long from 7. we have a little break in between 12:30 and 4 o'clock, and then we get going again from 4 to 8 in the afternoon. So we're gonna take turns spinning on the decks, and yeah, it should be pretty fun.
I asked Tony, I'm like, what do you even play at 7 a.m.? What's the vibe at 7 a.m.?
Chill vibes.
I'm gonna
chill
play
out.
lullabies.
I said
yeah.
lo-fi. Lo-fi
Lo-fi,
would be cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Disney lo-fi.
Disney Lo-Fi.
It's a vibe.
That's a station.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
So,
is.
yeah, I think that's what it'll be, kind of nice, easygoing, loungy type vibes early on. Maybe, I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah.
People might
Fill it
get
out.
there. Yeah, you kind of have to read the crowd, right?
Go on the Cupid Shuffle.
I know.
7:30
Oh,
a.m.
God.
You're
It's
like,
gonna be-
oh god, all right, I got you.
It's raising. It might be just an endless loop of the chicken dance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Good.
I would take the chicken dance over Cupid Shuffle.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, hot take.
That's a hot take.
That's a.
Cupid is too long. You need to play it for a minute and a half. 2
No,
minutes,
we
then
just
you're done.
don't even play it.
It's overdone.
Trash
You know what's
it.
interesting?
Hot
is-
take, controversial. I know.
No, it's fair.
You
I just
heard it here
recently did
first.
a school dance, and line dances are unique with kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to stay away from them, but they still want, the wobbles.
Yeah, the wobble.
Yeah,
How about that? There we
God.
go.
I hate
Tony,
this.
come on.
It's fine.
Cupid Shuffle over this?
Yes.
No.
Cupid's got like a beat to it.
Oh,
This is
God,
so
no.
corny. But I get it.
I feel a
Hot take.
chicken shuffle mashup coming on.
To the You got to do the move as you go to the right and the left.
That's really telling of you, Tony, because you hear it literally every weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you still
I appreciate
it.
It's got a bop. My thing is, if you want a line dance, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to just default to them.
or let it play out until
no.
all the way to
It's
the
too
end.
long. They're like 3.5, 4
Cut
minutes,
it.
and you're just doing the same thing over and over. They're over
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess that one it's just got more of a beat to it. I have fun with it versus the chicken dance. You're like, all right, are we done yet?
Yeah.
That's a personal opinion.
Yeah. I like the wobble.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the wobble
It's
too.
a good hot take. It's I feel a little controversy on the show. I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
We're beefing already.
Cupid Shuffle, chicken dance.
I know. See, I didn't know that the Cutmaster Cast was going to come to this,
Right.
but you just never know. Like,
It's funny.
okay, so
Moving on.
let's keep it going before
Swear we're professional.
yeah, before a chicken shuffle fight breaks out here. Okay, we're gonna get into it here with you, Alicia, and learn a little bit about you and your company, and we got some questions to ask you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into this? How'd you get into photography?
Like I mentioned this in the first podcast, it just kind of fell in my lap.
Mhm.
So first and foremost, I'm a wife and a mom, and so when my daughter was born almost 13 years ago, we had just like this little rink-a-dink Sam's Club kit Canon camera that my husband had purchased, and it was at the time such a sacrifice to make that type of purchase for
Right.
us.
Nice digital camera. And,
Yes,
yeah.
with all the bells and whistles to what I thought at the time,
Right, of course.
But yeah, I just wanted to document everything, capture all of her milestones, and then from there, it just dominoed effect to neighbors wanting, to get some shots, and then family, and extended family, and then all of a sudden, I get an inquiry for a little elopement, just in Old Town, 2-hour gig. I think I charged maybe $200. I don't even know what it was.
Right, we talk about what we charged earlier on too, and it's you think back
Wow.
you just don't know, right?
Yeah, $40 portrait
Yeah.
sessions.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Or back. I mean, when you start in nightlife, you're like, "What? I'm getting paid in beer? Yes."
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
Drink tickets? Let's go. No.
Yes, absolutely.
Now you can't live off drink tickets.
Yeah, no, not so much. We got bills to pay. We have
Exactly.
overhead, but yeah. And then after that little elopement, that I'm like, can I please reshoot it? Please, because it was just the worst. I look back at it and I'm like, how did I charge someone for something like this?
Right.
This
That
type
could
of
be
work,
cool though. You could
Yeah.
shoot the same couple
right?
10,
Give
12
them a
years
little
later.
vow renewal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then
I've thought about it.
And then it just shows how far you've come
Yeah.
and your talent. And you
yeah.
could do a before 12 years later.
Yep.
Something amazing.
And then just spiraled from there. The opportunity
Right. Like,
putting yourself
Did
out
you
there.
did you like apprentice or you all
Oh, yeah,
self-taught?
yeah, yeah. So then from there, I couldn't get enough of it. I'm like, what? We get to be a part of someone's like fairy tale dream
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single
I find
weekend
that
and
very
get
rewarding.
paid for it.
Yeah, right? That's cool.
Yeah. How do I get more of this? You
Mhm.
know? And so I would reach out to like local photographers and studios. And I think I was telling you guys that I reached out to Brian's Photography, and they were one of the
Yeah.
very few who wrote back and like B were so willing to take
Oh,
me on as
yeah.
an
Brian was
associate.
always
Good
cool.
dude.
I haven't worked with Brian in
Yeah.
I feel like
I think
years.
his daughter took
I was
over.
going to say I've worked with his daughter.
Uh-huh. I think she
He was,
took
he was
over.
great.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Brian was
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and a lot of us came from Brian, so it says it's a testament to him and like what he built. And by us, I mean like other wedding photographers in
Right.
town who are still in
I had no
business.
idea when you were telling us the names of the
Yeah.
other photographers that
Yeah.
they were also with Brian's at one
Uh-huh.
point.
We all came from there.
That's awesome.
I didn't last very long. I was like, okay, I could do this. Like I got, the courage, because at the time I was just like, not just, but I was a stay-at-home mom, not as social and very like guarded, and so I just couldn't picture myself running a business, even though I come from a business background through like
Right.
family.
Yeah, your family, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah.
the beef jerky.
Yep. And
Yes.
we have a little mercado. And so that's always been like a familiar too
Yeah.
Right.
thing for me. I just never wanted it for me, I guess, until I saw, that you could incorporate the creative aspect too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was probably more like, I don't necessarily want to run a mercado, but I could run like a wedding photography studio.
Yeah.
That could be me.
Exactly.
So
There's nothing like being able to build something or create a brand or do something that's
detached and
well and that you're passionate about,
Yeah.
that you love, like you said, like doing something that is just you're in. It's so different than a 9 to 5 where you're having to work for
someone
somebody.
else or your parents' dream or whatever.
yeah.
Like
Right.
this was my dream.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh, good for you.
yeah,
That's
it's been
awesome.
fun.
It's a very
awesome.
familiar story.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us that even in the industry or just other entrepreneurs, like it's very similar, right? Like,
Yeah.
just
Just
find-
doing one or two, and then you're like, I could do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't have any background in business
yeah.
at all.
That's
I
what you
mean,
were saying.
yeah, I mean, my degree's in biology, and then I got my master's in education. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So crazy.
I've got 15 lives, right? And
So
but
nice.
learning about the business aspect of things, which I know a lot of people, even in the industry, they hate things like sales. They hate
Yeah.
marketing and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just didn't realize that I would enjoy it so much until I got into the thick of it and started doing it, like the social media and all
Yeah.
this. Like, I mean, I love doing all that stuff.
Right?
you
Yeah.
know?
Same here.
Yeah, but it's interesting too because I feel like you didn't want to do it for I don't know something random,
else,
for
yeah.
somebody else or
Yeah.
for something you're not passionate about,
Right. Right.
So when it came to something like photography or DJing,
yeah.
you're like, well, heck yeah, I could sell DJ stuff. Or I
Yes.
could sell my 'cause
Absolutely.
You really are selling your passion and who you
Your
are
art,
versus
Your create
versus just a product, you know. And so
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. Awesome. So, your business, Alicia Lucia Photography, has been around for a little over a decade, right?
Yep.
Tell us about how you started your business and then how it's evolved like over the
Oh
years.
my gosh, yeah. Especially the last few years, it's really scaled a ton. How it started. So again, it somewhat fell in my lap in the sense that I really just was focused on capturing my daughter and like her milestones and our family and our memories.
So then you were working with Brian, right?
So then, like family and cousins and neighbors, and then I did that one elopement, and
Yeah.
then from there I was like, I need more. Like I want more.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to photographers, worked with Brian, and then just slowly started getting, and it was very much just like friends and families, like events and weddings for the
course.
longest time. But yeah, it just snowballed, you guys. Like it just from there. I think it was.
Did you just have did you have a moment or is
Oh,
there a moment
totally.
that you can
Aren't there
remember?
you know that there's moments. Like
But-
I can pinpoint them. I know exactly. My first one was finishing I did a creative live class, and for those of you who aren't familiar, it's like a master class type of thing online.
Right.
And on there, the instructor who now she's actually like blown up beyond wedding photography world. Like she's a brand now.
Mm.
And so she's like up there, millions of followers, brand deals, all this stuff. But at the time she was wedding photographer and I was learning from her. And the biggest thing that she taught was just like staying in your lane. And she talked a lot about imposter syndrome, which I was dealing with a lot. I'm like, but I feel like business owners deal with that a lot. And it's
Yeah.
a constant struggle of like, am I good enough? Will I ever be good enough? Who's going to want to book me? Blah, 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 blah. You know, that whole spiel. But I don't know. It was just that class and her like really just grilling us on that and exploring that part of it. And so many like takeaways from that class that I'm like, you know what? I got this.
Yeah.
Like,
Finally,
I'm going to do this.
You got over the hump that to
Isn't
just
it
go out and
crazy?
do it,
like
right?
Just a little $99 masterclass on Creative Live. I feel like just
You're empowered by
revved
it.
me up. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I did a styled shoot, and I remember one of the comments during that styled shoot was like, yeah, but like you're doing all this and like this whole production, and we don't even have that type of bride in New Mexico. So like, what are we doing this for? And to me, that was not even like in my like
thought process, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even think
that
was
wasn't
possible.
even exactly. I'm like, I don't care because I feel like we could bring that bride here.
Yeah.
Or that bride could see that this is possible in New Mexico.
Mhm.
And at the time it was just like, I don't know, it was like a floral crown. So crazy. But for like I don't know, what was it, like 2012, it wasn't really being done here, that type of trend. And
Wow.
so it was really neat to be able to just like tune everything out, practice it. Because at the time, it could have been easy before that class to like really like sit with that type of comment and like not even push out that content maybe that I made or that art that I made and doubt myself. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna push it out there, see what happens. And oh my God, I remember those pictures took off and inquiries came in. I remember that shoot, I got an inquiry specifically for this venue, and I don't even know if it's like somewhere you can get married still in New Mexico, but it's like an old mill
Okay.
in Vegas in like northern New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just rustic and cute. At the time, that was all in, right? Like
Yeah.
the mason jars and like
Right,
the
right.
burlap and all that. And that's how I scored that, was through pushing that content
Nice.
and putting that out there.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
From there, it just, like I said, snowballed. And that was one I remember like pivotal moment for me, just like trusting the process, trusting myself. And yeah.
So cool. And then tell us about like the last few years on how the dynamics
Yeah.
have
So
shifted.
from there, it was like, okay, I was being booked.
Yeah.
And so I there were so many dates that were coming up where I didn't want to miss out on really cool opportunities to like service these awesome couples
Yeah.
and shoot at these awesome venues.
Yeah.
Like maybe they shared their style or their dress, and I was like, oh my God, that's like my dream dress. And at the time, there was friends that were like, hey, if you ever need, you know, what XYZ, like I have availability. I want to fill up my calendar. Same as I did with Brian.
Mhm.
And these were people that I really trusted, and
Right.
I really like knew that they were professional, had that really good gear. And so then I would contract them to take on those weddings. And so pretty much from there, every like season, we would just bring one in and onboard them, train
Nice.
them.
How long did you go? Were you solo before you started onboarding people?
Ooh, like 5 years?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so, and I know like your team is definitely an integral part of your business. And, you know, I've known you for a while, and I feel like this is the largest I've seen your squad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
tell us about how you built your team. I know you've been talking a little bit about that here, and
Yeah.
then how you manage, you know, them.
Yeah, because that's like a whole other part of the business. People
Right.
don't understand how like time consuming that part can be.
Just managing the team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's so many, and you do need a solid admin team to help you kind
Nice.
of stay on top of it all for sure. So I have we have like 4 or 5 on the back end of things. So admin means like correspondence, booking, inquiries, gosh. And then I have one gal that like plays so many hats and roles for the business, that does like training, onboarding, HR, PR, you know, marketing,
Yeah.
all that.
Nice.
The
And-
utility person.
Yeah.
yeah, she really is. And so between us, well, with me, like 5, we are the ones that bring in the, you know, like the artists, train them, onboard them, vet them before anything, you know, make sure they have the experience and
Right.
the gear and all that.
Yeah, so you've had to
And
put systems in place. Like, I mean, as you
tons of
grow,
sys-
you
yeah.
have to delegate, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have systems in place, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be so hard.
That's what I've learned as well. You've got to have, you know, just ducks
workflow.
lined up and have a workflow.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Just you got to have systems and an order of operations, and
Mhm.
it streamlines things, and then you can get things done quicker. You can onboard people like so much
Yes.
faster.
So
Yeah.
wonderful. It's so nice. Contracts, even with our associates. Oh yeah, all of that. Absolutely. And there's so many programs now that makes
Yeah,
it
do a lot of it
easy.
for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
the
everything.
initial part of like having to throw everything on the program and set up the program
Yeah.
is like super time consuming, but it's so worth it.
It's
And-
nice because you're right. Once you get it done, it's like it's done, and then you'll just have little tweaks along the way, you know. But,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
yeah, the front end, you know, is always the toughest part, and then it makes just everything from that point so much smoother and nicer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
So tell us, what qualities do you look for when selecting team members? So now you've got people coming to you, they're
Yep.
interested,
Applying.
they're
Mhm.
applying.
Yes.
I mean, I'm guessing at this point you probably don't even need to put out like Indeeds or anything like
Yeah,
that, or
it's
maybe you
been
do.
a
Tell,
while.
tell us about that. What do you look for?
Yeah, I mean, so first off, we really look for team players, and I think that's important, not just within my company, but also within like the wedding world as vendors and frienders and
Yeah.
and service providers to these couples. Is like, if you're not a team player, you're not in the right niche. You're not in the right business. We all have an end goal. Truly, at the end of the night, is to provide the best of the best for our clients. It's a once in a lifetime.
That's what
Yeah.
we
Experience,
we
you
call
know?
it the Super Bowl every week.
Oh my
Every
God,
weekend is
yes.
the Super Bowl
There's
for
no
us.
room for error. and-
There is not.
Yeah,
So like the bar is high.
it is.
Literally, it's the number one greatest moment of that couple's life to date.
The
at that
pressure,
point.
and that's why the price is what the price is, because
Yeah.
there are no do-overs and take backs.
Yeah.
Like we
like this podcast.
well, we won't get into that,
Right.
but
But that's a very, very good point, right?
Yeah.
You're paying for us not only to be excellent, but to be excellent on your day.
professional.
Yeah, professional and showing up.
experienced.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like you were saying, you're looking for those qualities where you can be a team player because
There's got to be flexibility,
there
right?
has to be on every single wedding day. It's never going to go perfect. And
Never.
I always say it's a guideline more than a timeline, you know, but if
Yes.
something needs to
Ooh,
happen,
I like that.
yeah, you don't want to I don't want to be going into the toast and then I didn't communicate with the catering staff because the champagne isn't poured. Or I always love to talk to the photographers and ask them, where do you want me to put the toaster? Where do you want me to where it's a wireless mic? It doesn't make a difference for us, right?
Yeah.
But just all of those little things and communicating to give them the best product, the best photo, right? All of those
Exactly,
things.
Yes, and
Yeah.
a seamless day to what we can control. You know?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's
Right.
outside
Weather
factors,
or
always-
whatever.
Yeah, always weather in New Mexico.
Rebustling a dress.
Yes.
You know, I've had
Unruly guests.
unruly guests. I mean, you get your fair amount. I had some guy touch my head the other day, and I was like, personal space, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it was weird. It was at the end of the event. Everyone was all shaking
Isn't
hands,
it
saying,
weird?
but he was like, yeah, and he like,
No, I've had groomsmen be super
like, whoa, dude.
appropriate. Yeah.
I can
Oh,
imagine
I
for you,
bet,
that
yeah,
wasn't too bad.
Awful.
But
It can get pretty
that's
bad.
yeah.
That's why I don't know about your guys' contract, but my contract is like, and thankfully not every event, but you know, there's been so many moments where I'm like, okay, putting that clause in the
Yeah,
contract, like,
you learn along the way,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Like,
you can't be like touching on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sheesh, that's horrible.
ugh.
Yeah.
These are things like, we don't even think about, just for whatever reasons, being guys or being DJs.
Yeah.
or
See,
things
it didn't
like
affect
things that
me,
we don't
but,
even
like
have.
that's real, right?
Oh, and the comments are worse. Like, because the touching is like one thing, it's like taking it way too far.
Right.
But some comment, and like, we'll have rings on our fingers,
Of course.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dudes.
awful. But it's getting better, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay, so shift gears a little bit here, and to maybe give our guests a little nugget with a little sauce here. Can you tell us and speak to any like unique or innovative strategies that you use, like for marketing and promoting your business?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to say social media, which of course you definitely have to pour into that.
How are you using it though?
How are we using it? Jacqueline, shout out Jacqueline, she's been with me since, oh gosh, I think like 7 years now. And she runs
Great.
all social media. She's like our creative director in every sense of the word. So she does Instagram. I know she's really good about posting daily and if not every other day. So always staying on top of that. And right now she said like within her audits that like reels aren't doing as well as static posts for whatever reason. So our static posts, at least on our page, are performing better.
Yeah. I've also heard that like if you're posting more stuff organically from your camera phone as opposed to curated photos, it does better on the
Well,
feed.
that's hard for us, Tony.
I know. It's hard for me too.
Because
By the way, Alicia does
We are
not
wedding
take
photographer.
wedding pictures with camera phones.
In case you guys didn't know.
I
know. Exactly. But that was something I read. I was like, wow, they're going for more of like a more
authentic, which makes sense,
feel.
I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, so
still
I will
curating my
share
stuff.
that if you now for creators or business accounts, you have the ability to, and I don't know if we've used you guys, but you could tag like a, oh my gosh, Jacqueline's gonna kill me. I'm like butchering all this, but you can add a contributor, I think they call it.
Yes.
Have you
yes,
noticed that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we noticed that when we add a contributor and we do our couples, like their personal pages,
Yes.
then we get more engagement
I bet.
because it's populating on there.
That's smart. Yeah.
Like it's on there.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Power
'cause
up.
that makes a lot of sense because I made a post, a recap video, and I tagged the couple.
There you
And
go.
that really, they reposted it, and it did way
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
just us.
But tagging's different.
Okay.
Contributor. Add
Yeah.
them as a contributor.
Okay.
Is that what you did?
No. You mean collaborator?
Or that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it's on their little squares on their feet.
Yeah. They can
Yeah.
see it. They have to accept
you.
the collaboration,
Right.
but it doesn't hurt
For the
to put
most
it out
part,
there.
our couples
right? They're
are
gonna
all
accept
about it.
Yeah,
that's what I would
yeah.
think, right?
Yeah. I
Yep.
wanted to show you, but it's
But
not.
yeah, it goes to their feed as well, and it acts as their post.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then we'll get comments from like, their family,
Parents,
their
friends,
friends, their
yeah.
Right.
aunties. And they're like, Mia, beautiful.
That's a good tip, though.
Yeah, see
From
like this.
from Tia Zilla that we talked about.
Oh
a few
yeah,
episodes
so
ago.
Bridezilla, Groomzilla. We had a Tiazilla.
Oh yeah, we're for the first time in over a decade, I had my first real taste of a true bridezilla last year. But for the most part, it was always that like mother of the bridezillas,
Yeah.
sisterzillas randomly, bridesmaidzillas, but never our sweet couples, which is nice because
Yeah,
that's who our contract is with.
Exactly.
yeah, it's
At
true.
the end of the day, like that's who we're trying to
Mhm.
Right.
deliver for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, this was the couple. It was actually
Yes.
a wedding you guys
Yep.
did.
Yep.
And we added the bride as
Great.
the collaborator. And so then we tend to get more engagement that
That
way.
makes sense.
Yeah. But okay, other strategies. Where I was going with social media is like, yeah, of course, pour into it. But like at the end of the day, that is not yours. Like your Instagram account belongs to Instagram. Your Facebook account belongs to Facebook. Your Pinterest account belongs to Pinterest.
Right.
All you're ever going to own is your website.
Mm.
And so for that reason, we've always been, that's another thing that came up for me when you asked about like forks in the road or pivotal moments was like hiring someone to teach me SEO.
Yes.
That was
Nice.
another one.
Yeah.
That was early on too.
Major though.
So huge.
Yeah.
So doing that and pouring into your website as much as you can, which is hard because there's so many, it's endless, the things you need to pour into as a business owner.
But I think you hit it on the head, and I've always said that too. Because when people search, they're going to go to Google.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if your SEO is not on point and you're not appearing in the, in either the local pack or on the top,
3.
and-
You won't even, they won't even
and
consider
so it's so
you.
different than when we started because
Oh,
there
yeah.
wasn't even the local pack. It
No.
was just all the organic
Organic,
searches
yeah.
or paid, right?
Yeah.
And that was a whole game in and of itself. And then if you weren't paying enough, you weren't
Right.
up high enough. And then the 7-pack came in, and now it's the local 3-pack, and now you've got the Google My Business area, and it's like if you're not optimized for Google, and if your
Yeah.
website isn't on point,
Yeah.
um,
You're not blogging and you're not using metadata and hashtags and keywords and all that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You're
not
not going to
finding
come
you.
up. Yeah.
yeah,
Before I went with that guy and used his services, I think we were like page 56 or something. And
Wow.
he's like, I don't like to make these guarantees, but I know for your area that I can get you top 10 easy, and then top 3 and first page before the end of the year. And this was probably like in the summer.
Nice.
And sure enough, I'm pretty sure we're still within the first page.
Yeah.
What would
Yeah.
I look up?
Do like New Mexico wedding.
Well, and at the point, so this was the thing is if you do it early on,
Oh yeah, this
and-
was 2013.
right? So you've already have the
It's like-
longevity,
Yeah,
right?
grandfathered in.
Your grandfathered in. So now
Right
it doesn't
there.
even matter. But also,
It's the knot and then you.
most of our
And that's New Mexico wedding photography.
Yes, exactly.
right.
Pretty broad. It's not Albuquerque or Santa Fe.
But you, like us, most of our inquiries now are coming off of like referrals from like venues and coordinators
Which
and
is-
all that. So now,
Let's talk about that.
yeah, like now you're vetted in already, right?
Yeah.
And doing all the back end, the back work, like years and years ago,
Oh yeah.
has led to that now, right? To
know.
where yes, SEO and all that stuff matters, but it doesn't matter nearly as much today as it did for us 15 years ago.
Oh
it's true.
yes, I know.
I feel like you're still
Yeah, I
having
don't
to
even
apply it,
know.
though. Like now
I
it's
don't,
like,
I don't even know where you would start now because it's so saturated.
Right.
yeah. Well, I feel like in like social feeds now are doing a lot of good stuff on SEO.
Well-
and so in like caption writing and stuff like that.
And I think that's what. So I think you've got to constantly stay up on it. And if somebody
Yeah.
new was starting now, yes, you got to do a website. And do it right because
Hell
there's
yeah.
still a lot of them out there that are terrible. Like
Yeah.
at least
Oh my gosh.
locally.
yeah.
locally with the DJs. The sites look like they're straight out of like
It looks like a
Windows
MySpace
Windows
page.
98.
yeah.
Windows
style.
95.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they're just. You could tell they're not updated, And then social media, we're getting a lot of inquiries off of Instagram and
Yeah.
TikTok. Like it's
Wait,
crazy.
let's go back to venues though and referrals because yes,
Yep.
of course, totally believe in it. But you and I, Chris, experienced this where it's like venues come and go.
They do.
So and their policies will change.
Yeah.
And
Or the
city,
coordinator.
the city is sad-
Coordinators.
Oh yeah,
They
you're-
rotate.
Yeah, and so it's like you can pour into venues and try to get into their what do you call them like recommended
Recommended
Right.
vendors.
Yeah, but if things switch up there and the venue closes or they decide to switch things up, I mean, then what?
You're back to square one.
Right.
pretty
Back to
much.
square one.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer, and you're right in that you're saying now is SEO as big of a beast as it was then? I don't know, but I know that we continue to pour in like
You have to.
Jacqueline
You have to.
is
Yeah. It's very
on
much
there all the
important
time
for
on
sure.
our blog. Yeah. So
Well, and I think as somebody I think would tell you not to put all your eggs in one basket on
Never.
a
That's
stock,
exactly
right?
it, right?
No.
It's the same thing like with this. Like you have to have website on point, and
Yes.
we update ours constantly too for that reason. Because
Yeah.
even you might have had a great website done 5 years
Mhm.
ago, and if you've never touched it since, forget it. Like Google knows,
Yeah.
and you're stale.
Yeah.
yes.
You know,
oh,
so
they know.
so yeah.
Google knows.
They're
So
good at
we're
it.
doing the
It's
same.
nuts.
I constantly change up the
Yeah.
content, the pictures, update blog posts,
Mm-hmm.
but then doing social media, and then all the different platforms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we're starting to do more with YouTube Shorts because that is really growing.
People are
Oh, I've
searching.
heard. Yeah.
Well, I've been seeing a
me about
lot that people are now. It's called vlogcasting because it's vlog podcasting, and people are getting.
Yeah, this.
Spotify is not renewing their contract with Joe Rogan, and so there's like a bunch of like a new wave is coming. They're saying with a bunch of these like. People wanting to be more of like a visual thing
Visual.
on YouTube as opposed to just auditorial.
Mhm.
But that's what they were saying. They were like, "Oh, Joe Rogan will just build his."
We're so
business and
selfish. We want it all. We're like, we want video. We want audio.
I know. I like
it's
having
just
both.
constantly
I'm an immersive
changing.
gal myself too. I can't even lie. I do like when I do podcasts and I know there's a video version. I'll
watch.
go watch it.
I can't. I like to watch. I don't know. I don't know if it's a weird thing. I'm a very visual learner. I've always been a
Mhm.
visual learner.
Yeah.
Like I used to always think of like there's a sports radio called The Herd with Colin Cowherd. I can't listen to him I can't listen to it, but I could watch it for 3 hours.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I don't know how
What
or
about
why.
you, Chris? Are you visual?
You like audio, don't
Audio?
you?
Yeah. Well, I
feel like
kinda-
you're always
you know what, but
on both.
I do both.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of funny because there's a few different podcasts, and I really haven't gotten into podcasts until about this last maybe year or two.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And so we've got some friends in the industry. They do some podcasts, and they do a lot of they put them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny if they have a YouTube, I'll actually run that while I'm in the car. Because there's the visual part of it,
Yes.
and I know I shouldn't be driving and watting, but you know, red lights, red lights. I'm
Yeah.
watching them.
They make little holders.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
but yeah, I like watching the visuals, and then I like like in this podcast, if we are showing like our TikToks, which we're gonna do later on, we can put them up here on
Yeah,
the
we put
screen,
them
and you
all up.
can
We
you can
put all
watch them
the-
with us,
Oh,
right?
that's
So
cool.
We'll look up videos and we'll do different things, and then in post, I'll just throw up there so they can see what we're seeing in the videos.
You guys are just so immersive. I love it. I love it all.
We try to be. You know, I
Yeah.
think
We're learning.
this is a new thing that we just put on, but it's another wave or format for us to be relevant, to stay
I
on top of it,
know,
right?
yeah.
And I like it because it's pretty easy. You just kind of sit
Yeah.
there and talk, but like we had to get to this point, right? We had to go through audio equipment and figure out.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now episode 15.
I had to
feel like
figure out which Street Fighter sounds I wanted to use.
we're still trying to think of like cool
Aw.
sound effects. We're like, what else could we add, right?
Yes,
But
I love it. Ay, what's that one?
that's how it's
You know,
Ryu.
Street Fighter.
Hadouken.
Perfect. You win. Perfect.
But yeah, you know, we have all these cool things, and we're now flowing. I feel like we do a
Oh,
really
that's
good job.
nice.
We're trying to get,
It's so nice when you get to that point where it is just like a flow.
Right.
Yeah. We were talking about that the other day in the office because, like, for Eduardo and Alejandro, we're done with their so this was like a mutual client of ours. We finished their gallery, delivered it, got their USB box sent, thank you card, boom, done. Like, that's already done. And it's like less than a month. And when it was just me, it was like, I wouldn't touch USB boxes or prints for like 6 months down the line.
yeah,
Because it wasn't like they had their online gallery. You know, my clients had their online gallery. So I'm like, I can get to the USB
Oh,
box.
okay,
But
yeah.
now that I have like
these systems.
the support and
Yeah.
the systems in place, it's just like a flow. And I'm just so proud of my team.
Nice.
We've
That's
awesome.
awesome.
worked really hard to get here, especially the
job.
last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you learn, and that's I think what's made you guys, you know, one of the premier photography companies is that you've been able to streamline. You've learned you've got systems down. You're
Yep.
trusted,
Yeah.
and now it's just like it's turnkey, right?
It's
I know that-
The machine's
wonderful.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
someone called us like a well-oiled machine. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the compliment of the century for
Yeah,
me.
it's really good. We talked about it a little bit in the last one, but like you guys do 3,
Yeah.
and I love how you
Yeah.
guys are the only team.
Yeah, and I
to do
said,
3.
is it too much? Like rolling up
yeah.
with the whole squad on a wedding day with 3
Yeah.
like a team of 3 wedding
No,
photographers.
That reason you have 3 is why you are guys. You guys are you ladies
Yeah.
are such a well-oiled machine
Oh, thank you.
because you have somebody
yeah.
who can manage the madness,
Yeah.
and you got 2 people shooting.
Yeah, because I'll say that third person will help you with the BTS for like your social media and use little clips for like if you wanted to do YouTube shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're also they're trained to know that their lead role would be a timeline or being a runner or being that third pair of eyes or
Yeah.
third pair of
The
hands.
utility person.
That's
Yes.
support, yeah.
Holding the
Yeah.
lights or holding the whatever bouquets and veils
Mhm,
and everything, so that
mhm.
we're not asking mom, who should also be the queen
Yes.
that day, or we're not bugging the DJ for things or the planner for things. Like we come with our crew.
Exactly.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that when you guys are on the wedding, my life is easier. And so
the feeling is so mutual.
yeah, good.
I told you, and there ain't no party like a Cutmaster party.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
They're a good time. They're pretty fun.
What's the soundbite for that one?
That one I believe would be.
good.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Dang, that is a good one.
I mean, I got bites for everything. All right, and speaking of,
Okay.
we got a bite for this next section that we're gonna move into.
Okay.
We call it this or that.
This and like that.
Just chill.
To the next episode.
All right. So this or that. This is the section, the segment where we give you two choices,
Okay.
and you've got to pick the one that you like best. All right. So I'm
Okay.
going to start this out.
That sounds hard.
It's kind of difficult.
Just go with your gut.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just whatever comes first. All right. Okay. Outdoor or indoor weddings?
Oh, outdoor with the possibility of indoor for
With the
weather.
with the plan B of indoor.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
With a plan B.
Okay.
Outdoor always with a plan B.
Nice.
All right.
What about you guys? Oh, you guys want indoor.
Indoor.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like
Deal with
indoor.
the
Good
set
curfew.
elements and well,
Or-
that's a bonus. If
It's-
you're done at 10, you're done at 10. Like no matter what. You know, so
Yeah.
like there's venues that it's like, okay, like we're like we know we go till 10 no matter what, and that's cool. But yeah, I would have to say indoor just
Yeah, no.
because
Indoor.
I don't have to deal with the elements.
I can't
That's
just pick up
true.
speakers and
I
go
know.
bring them inside and roll. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
Well, then
it's a
buy
pain.
waterproof speakers.
You know what? Actually, we just did.
I don't even know if that
I-
exists.
No,
it does.
we have
and
'em.
Oh, nice.
I
There
just
you go.
I just bought these brand new speakers.
battery-powered.
Battery powered, wireless,
They're sick.
and waterproof.
Nice.
But I'm hoping I don't have to ever try it out. So
Right.
Yeah.
And-
Just like backup,
and
just
actually,
in case.
and they're just for ceremonies. They're small.
They're a little small.
Oh,
They're
there you
great
go.
for ceremony, cocktail
Yeah.
hour, and it's nice because they're all
Oh,
wireless.
okay. Well, yeah. Then I will say, can I change my answer?
No, you're locked in.
Ceremony outdoor,
Okay.
and then reception indoor.
Okay.
Like
You just
that.
can't beat like beautiful natural light
Yeah.
for ceremony, especially.
You don't have too many indoor ceremonies unless it's like in a church. I feel like,
Yeah, here.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
or a
Yeah.
barn. Did a barn not too long ago.
Oh, cute.
It was nice.
Was it well lit or was it dark?
It was the middle of the day, so I felt like the lighting was good. I
Oh,
can't give you a
nice.
professional idea,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
What was the Kelvin?
About 3,000 Kelvin.
ISO.
Yeah.
But
funny.
yeah, it was good.
Well, that's good.
It was raining, and so we had to
See?
audible into the
That's
barn,
nice.
but they had that
Okay.
option. It worked out.
Yeah.
Do you got one, Tony?
Yes, got it. Traditional or non-traditional wedding ceremonies?
Oh, non-traditional
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think when
That's
you?
literally our whole brand.
Yeah, non-traditional.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We
Well-
like an alt couple
Mhm.
doing things their own way and not just for the sake of tradition. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like everybody's doing it, and I'm the same way. I always tell them like, there's these things you want to do, and you think there's expectations of you, but this is your day. Like, this isn't your parents' day. Yes, they did that. Well, my mom did this last time. Okay, well, that was 20 years ago. Like,
yeah.
you do whichever you want to do. Let's do something like that, but
Yeah.
switch it up. Let's do something
Yeah.
unique. So when your kids say they could do something cool, something like that.
Exactly. I totally agree. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. DJ or
Well-
live band?
Dang it. Stop.
I'm nervous.
I think there's a no.
This is taking too long.
No. Okay. DJs if they're Cutmaster.
It's fair.
Hey.
Okay. Because bands are fun.
I agree.
But
Uh-oh.
bands are not MCs. Like,
Yeah.
Bands can't keep going. They stop.
Yeah.
And then the vibe stops. And then you have to, do like reconfigure and make the vibe happen again in the dance floor. And by the time people have left. And so I feel like
It's
the
hard to regain
longevity.
the momentum.
Yeah, the momentum.
You know what? It's hard, right? Because I love live music too. So like the live, nothing can replace like a band and that live element.
the
and-
strings and the orchestra.
Yeah,
like
and-
all
and
the
it's
fun.
things.
Actually, yeah. So I totally get it. It's tough, right? Because it's like, okay, after a while, a wedding band to me sounds the same because they sound the same. It's the
Yeah.
same people. So it's the same band singing
Yeah, it's
Earth,
not like it's
Wind,
gonna
and
be The
Fire,
Weeknd.
September. Yeah. Bruno only sounds like Bruno. I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of is what it is. So I think
Totally.
after a while, it can kind of get a little stale. And that's where the DJ, I think that element,
Mm-hmm.
can be a little bit nicer, but I don't know. It's hard for me too. Like I love live music. So,
Yeah, we've
but when I go to a concert, I'm going to see that band, right?
Yeah, I want to see the band.
Absolutely.
We've talked about it in the past. I love when people incorporate it, a band
Do
with
both.
the DJ.
That would be
We're
if their
doing that-
budget is flexible for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
We're doing
That's a good way to
we're
do
doing
it.
that next weekend,
Oh,
and I love it
cool.
because they are opening it up,
Yeah.
and it feeds an older crowd vibe for sure. I
Mhm.
feel like they can play a lot of the Spanish music,
Rancheras,
rancheras, and
Traditional.
what's interesting about the band and the DJ when we're both there is everybody understands our roles. So I'm not expected to play the Spanish music songs, and they're not expected to play Avicii,
Nice.
right? Or
Yes,
something like
yes,
that.
Yes, yes.
So They play for 45 minutes, and then I come on, relieve them for maybe 30, 35, keep
Yeah.
that momentum while they take a break.
Yeah.
Then they come on, finish it out for another 40, and then I finish the night out for like the last hour.
I wonder if that's a feasible option for
Yeah.
couples. Like,
It's-
are there bands that will literally come and lug all their stuff and just do like an hour set?
It's interesting that you say that because every single time I've done it, it's been a family friend. The bands have been really, really good, but you can feel that there's a homie hookup.
Connect.
A connect, right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't think about that, like logistically.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
not worth like your time.
never.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, but
Mm,
I've
yeah.
always liked that.
Me too.
All right, Tony. Which one you got?
Okay, let's see. First look or waiting to see each other at the ceremony?
Oh, they're both so special. I will say though, with the first look, you get more time with each other. Actually, I don't know if you guys ever thought about this on your end, but a first look
We're dudes. Probably not.
and on the DJ end of
We're
it.
setting up at that moment.
Yes, you're like, don't talk to me. But for a first look, it's really truly the only time that you'll spend together alone, just the bride and groom.
I love that.
How about that?
Wow, that one's good.
The rest of the day is filled with family or bridal party or wedding party or mom or dad or wedding planner or whatever. But
Somebody
that's
else.
the only time it's just like them two and us behind the scenes, like letting them have their moment.
Wow.
And you get more pictures.
Yeah.
And you're fresh out of hair and makeup. There's a lot of pros, but I understand like it's not everybody's cup of tea, you know.
All right.
And
I like first look. You sold me on first look.
Yeah. And that
I'm like, that's it.
and that just reminded me we need a sound.
Yeah, we need one.
okay,
That was cute.
there you go.
Okay. I like it.
What about you, Chris? What you got?
Okay. Let's see. Let's do Dr. Dre or Morgan Wallen.
Oh, Dr. Dre.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You heard it.
I'm a big Wallen fan.
No, I mean I like his music. You cannot beat that.
Yeah, you can.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's history.
Said
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Dre.
yep. We're bumping.
It's the
Dr. Dre, mother. Just kidding.
stop it just in time.
Right.
Family friendly people.
Yeah.
Family
Yep,
friendly.
Yep.
It's for we do it for the
But
kids.
Dr.
For the
Dre.
kids.
Nice.
But I've seen Morgan Wallen live. He's good.
He is fun, huh?
Yeah, he's fun.
All right.
Okay, I got one. DIY decorations or hiring a professional decorator?
Hire a professional.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I guess there's elements of the day that you can incorporate. If it was something special that was minimal for you to like
Yeah.
make, and it's not gonna like overpower.
Right, like, but making 40 centerpieces.
Yeah, just leave it. If it's in the budget,
Sure.
leave it to the professionals.
Yeah,
They'll make it
exactly.
look better.
Yeah, that makes
but
a
if
lot of
it's like
sense.
a little, I don't know.
I got you. Like one piece that's really like a special art project that you guys work
maybe that's
together
gonna
for
be
the
next
wedding
to
day.
the welcome book or something.
Yeah.
It's not gonna like take over. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Leave it to the pros.
to the pros.
Leave it
That's
to
how
the
I,
pros.
that's what I think you're getting at.
Call
is, like-
Lauren.
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Don't
Yes.
let like a lot of these stressors of, oh, we could do it ourselves. Oh, we could do it ourselves. Like you can figure out a ways to like
Yeah, because it can
budget and
it can
make it
just
work.
take over. By the
yeah,
time
and then
you
you're
know
just
it, you're
consumed.
like 60 bows in, and you're like, I fucking hate. Ooh,
Well,
sorry.
we'll leave it at-
Family friendly.
family friendly.
And the only reason I know is because I was a bride before, like
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
before I was a photographer, and I'm like, why did I put myself through? Like,
Yeah.
I could have just
Well, I
hired
had
someone.
I had a bride, or not my bride, but a couple that I'm working with. They seem so stressed. And they
Yeah.
come into our meetings, and I love it at the end of it all. They feel so much more confident about the overall day. But then she was like, I'm so sorry. We're thinking about all these
So
different
bombarded,
things. And
yeah.
and I was like, wow, it's all good. Like,
Yeah.
you picked a great DJ because we're going to help you take care of all of that,
Lucky,
right? And
yeah.
so, like, no worries. But yeah, to hear that, it's a workload. It's a whole, you're throwing a massive party.
Huge, the biggest one you've ever thrown.
Yeah.
For that
And
up to that day.
so it'd be
yeah.
nice to have some help.
Yeah. Instead
Agreed.
of having yourself or your family or your aunts or your friends all
Yeah.
having to like tie a million bows with you.
Ugh.
Mm-mm.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Red or green?
Oh, another controversial one.
Uh-oh.
No, neither. Surprisingly, on the side.
What?
I know. Blasphemy.
What's happening?
You take it back right now. You take it back.
I feel like I can say that because I'm Mexican. You know, like
That's why I'm shook.
You can't judge me.
It's fair. Well, you were born in Mexico, though.
I was
You were
born in
not
Mexico,
yeah,
Mexico.
That's a very big
like,
difference.
All right.
from New
First
Mexico.
generation immigrant like
Nice.
me.
That's cool, though.
And yeah, I feel like Mexicans eat for like flavor, not so much heat.
Mhm.
Not
Does
for
that make sense?
not for color.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I don't want to die. I want to enjoy my meal.
That's fair.
You know?
Not really a spicy kind of food
No,
person.
no, more of
Okay.
a pico de gallo, like tiny little bit
Flavor.
of salsita. Yeah, not a freaking
Not-
smothered Dorito.
Habanero.
Ugh.
No, I'm just
Which
kidding.
is-
Not my taste buds have been burned off by grandma when I was 5 months old.
So you guys don't even have like
No,
the-
yeah, we can't taste it.
Yeah.
Grandma was like, "Here, eat this, mijo," and
Gosh,
It'll make you
that's
feel
my
better.
husband. That's Adam for sure.
yeah.
So he's New Mexican and grew up like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
how is are your insides okay?
Sadie's salsa. That's
As
nah.
I've been getting older, the temperature's been going down. I
Oh,
will say, we go to the
really?
fiery food show every year, and I'm getting less and
Your
less confident.
tolerance.
No, it's just going down.
Oh, but it's
It's-
different for Chris. He says he doesn't even. He's
I,
numb.
I don't even have any taste buds. I can't taste food.
Well, we used to eat
That's
like the
funny.
hottest thing they had always, and I was never afraid of it. And now I'm like, I got to do things tomorrow. I can't be eating this spicy stuff.
Yes. Mm-mm.
You have to plan a week in advance if you're gonna have salsa.
Yeah, I literally, if I go to like New Mexican restaurants, it'll be on the side.
Nice.
And
Do
my
you
sweet-
choose red or green on the side?
Oh, green. Usually it's not as hot as red, right? Green?
Yeah, I guess it depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green. On the
Okay,
side with extra sour cream.
there it is.
Nice.
There it is. We learned something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That concludes. You passed the this or that
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
segment. Yeah.
Phew.
Good job. Good job. You had us worried there for a second, but we made it. And now we're gonna go into the next segment, which we call the grab bag.
Oh, cute.
This is our little grab bag tune.
We're gonna do it. It's called.
The grab bag.
Oh, you guys are cute.
We're trying. That was pretty good.
That's right. We're on it.
It gave a little bit of
It
Dumb
only-
and Dumber vibes, but
I mean,
it's very wholesome.
That's fair.
it only took us 15 episodes to
To time that out.
get that
We
right.
usually,
Nice.
we usually don't time that out.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Okay, so the grab bag is where we scour all the internets, and lately, not even that. It's really just TikTok now. It's
TikTok.
kind of
Yeah.
evolved. So we've scoured all the TikToks, and we're gonna play a few here, and then we're gonna
Do you have any suggestions
we're gonna
for getting
discuss
people
them.
out on
Oh
the dance
wait,
floor?
this-
I do. I've got one.
this girl talks very fast, and
She was
started.
excited.
She was excited.
It's on
She's-
1.5
she
speed.
she started without me. Okay. So this is a wedding planner, and she's discussing how to fill the dance floor, and I like this one because it deals with photography.
Nice.
Do you have any suggestions for getting people out on the dance floor? I do. I've got one that works like a charm. I'm Meredith, Wisconsin-based wedding planner, and I share all my wedding planning tips and tricks for the newly engaged couples on TikTok.
So fast.
When you're ready to open up your dance floor, you're going to ask your DJ to invite all the guests onto the dance floor for a large group photo.
That's
And the
sweet.
DJ,
We're
being the
doing
good
that.
hype man that he is, he's going to say, yes, yes, everybody, even you, no butts in those chairs, get out on the dance floor, come on over. Your photographer stands up on a chair, takes the large group photo, and then the DJ follows up with an absolute banger. You know, whatever your ultimate dance party song is that your guests just won't be able to resist. Yes, I know, Grandpa and Grandma will probably go sit down, but the majority of your guests, they're
there.
already on the dance floor, you already hooked them in, and now they're there with their favorite song. You're probably going to get them for
Grab
at least
that
2 or 3
group
songs
pick.
before they go fizzle out. Even the guests who say they don't like to dance, if you can get them onto the dance floor for some unrelated reason, they normally stay for at least a song or two. I see this trick work all the time. If you did something else that worked, let me know in the comments.
La
I feel
Marcha.
like you've done that even unintentionally, maybe like when
Yeah.
we call out to get that group picture. That sometimes
If you want to be crazy,
Oops, sorry.
no, you're good. That's requested from the couple. We
Yeah.
with Eduardo and Alejandro, they
Yes.
asked for that.
Exactly.
And you can just naturally they're there. It's like prime opportunity.
I talk about it a lot with like La Marcha.
Mm-hmm.
People want to do dollar dance La Marcha or La Marcha, then the dollar dance.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is you're inviting them to leave the dance floor at the end of it, all similar to the anniversary dance.
Mm-hmm.
So if New Mexico, La Marcha is very New Mexican, but
Yeah.
it's the same idea. Everybody's on the dance floor, and then you hit them with something
That's nice.
awesome, right?
Yeah.
But the group photo we're actually going to be doing this weekend, and I told them I was
Oh.
like, "That's a great way to open up the dance floor." So this
Yeah,
is perfect.
we've done that a few times as well. Same thing
Mhm.
where they've asked us to get the big group photo, and then you just get the dancing going.
Yeah.
I love it.
We've done it in between, like I've done it a couple of ways where you start the dancing that way, and then we've done it to where you dance for a little bit, and then they do like the bouquet and garter toss, and then they've had everybody come out at that point because then
Nice.
it can get the dance floor going
Yeah,
Momentum.
rig it.
again after you've cleared everybody off, right?
Love
so,
it.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure
Nice.
what your thoughts were on that, and
I
if
love
you've
it.
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The group photos are
As
really
long as your photographer has the gear for it.
yeah.
Because it would require like a super wide angle. lens if it's a
Oh.
big wedding. Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fisheye lens.
Hmm.
So if you have like 100 people, would you need a wide angle
Yeah,
lens?
like 24.
Okay.
Yeah, 24
Interesting.
millimeter
Yeah.
at least.
Okay. All right, here's the next one.
If you want to be crazy successful in your photography business, you need to understand this about marketing. That person over there who has booked out calendar, who's working with our dreamiest clients, who's bringing in 100K plus, it's not because of their skill set. It's not because of their personality. It's not because of their sign in the stars or something. That is not the reason why they're booking clients. It's not the reason why you will either. The reason why is because they are able to communicate their value very clearly. They're actually able to market well. They can market really well. They have a great marketing behavior. They have a 6-figure business behavior. They show up consistently. They actually take time to understand their client. They take time to create content that connects to their client. So if you really want to be successful to book out that calendar, to book those clients, you have to show the heck up and stop waiting around for a strategy. Stop waiting around for something to happen to you.
Oh,
Embody that behavior and book those clients.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a difference between being like motivated, which I don't even think there's such thing as motivation. I feel like you have to have discipline and grit and, that work ethic and really put it all.
Right.
Put it all out
Yeah,
there.
there's going to be times where you don't want to do it, right? And you have to be able to show up on those days where you're not having it,
Oh,
or you're not
yeah.
100%, but you still
Yeah.
got to give that grit and all of that. And I think, yeah, she does a good job at talking about like making sure you are helping them understand why you should be a part of their day in like explaining the value, right?
Yeah.
Like why it would be different to have this person as opposed to you there.
Yeah.
And I've always been a really big adamant person on expressing the value of having a good wedding DJ, explaining what emceeing looks like
Yeah.
and being able to read a crowd and all
Yeah.
of that. And so
And you can do it first on your website so that it doesn't even have to get to that
That's
point.
the
And you
first
don't need
touch
to
point, right?
Explain yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
so-
first touch point for many people is the website, is that
Yeah.
click on and looking at
Yeah.
you online, but I think it's interesting. And there's definitely certain vendors on your wedding day that you have to connect with. And I think she touches it with that too, right? Like you need to interview photographers. You need to interview videographers. You need to interview DJs. Like you're going to be spending a lot of time with that person. And if you honestly don't like each other for whatever reasons, that's going to come through the photos. That's going to come through maybe the music and the curation of the day, or, I think it's very important that you to be able to make that connection, with the client.
it's important for us too, because then we can make sure we're lining up with our right clients.
Yeah, we're aligned with
Because
you.
if I don't have that connection, it's often harder for me to deliver my 100.
Yeah. Okay. Got one more. This is the
Nice,
last
nice.
one. Here we go.
I've never seen this done at a wedding before, and I think this is such a good idea. So those wedding scavenger hunts where they have disposable cameras out and they have a list of different photo ops of things that they want to have people try to get from their wedding. What if you did something similar to that, but for people's Instagram stories? So you give them a list of different things to document throughout your day. They'll post it to their Instagram stories. They tag you, and then you wake up the next morning with an inbox full of different angles from your wedding. I made it into a customizable template for you guys, so make sure to go check it out if this is something that you want to do for your wedding.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yes and no, but I want to know what is she suggesting? Because I'm like, if you're pulling out phones in the aisle,
Ooh.
ceremony,
Good. So
nah.
this is what she has on this list.
No.
Fit check.
Oh heck yeah,
Cocktail hour fun.
cute.
Nice.
Hannah and
Like the couple
Bubba's first dance.
Yeah.
Your drink of choice.
Yes.
A photo of your table. Your favorite decoration.
Oh.
A sweet moment. The dance floor. A candid of Hannah and Ben. And the send-off.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So the only ones I would have, or like from a photographer standpoint, that would be challenging, would be, I would say the first
dance. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like it's the same idea with the ceremony.
Exactly.
Everybody
Get out of my way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And then just additional light sources, if like. they're
Oh,
using
God, messing with
flash,
you. Yeah.
Yes. The other one was the send off. So like if you're doing the sparkler exit, which we already know, it's we've established we are not fans.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so meticulous. Our settings have to be just right. The like
Yeah.
area has to be just right. Everything has to be just right. So if there's someone else trying to like capture, it's just like another person that you're having to like
Adjust around. Yeah.
shoot around. So
Makes
but everything
sense.
else is cute. I love that.
So
It's
you
good
know
to
what? This is what I love too. I mean, this podcast is really mostly geared toward vendors. But if there's anybody out there listening and planning their wedding, like these are some of the things you don't think about, right? Like the coordination that needs to happen with everything. And even if you're doing something just like that, where you want people to take Instagram photos, you know, taking your photographer, your videographer into consideration and how they might be affected of doing their best work around all of that, right?
Yep.
So
No, our couples are well educated by that time, well before timeline building or anything. We send like a whole spiel, a welcome packet, and then there's like tons of resources and information on just like how we talked about expectations and like what we need and what they need to like provide and deliver and like ALP wedding experience,
right.
you know, and deliverables, because that's usually the most important part.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, I think a professional like yourself has taken it, and you've gone through the experiences, right? And that's we've done the same thing. So just having these lights is a product of us dealing with us having bad lighting for photography and video in the past. And we just didn't know, right?
Right,
like,
yeah.
DJs don't think about this stuff. We get caught in our own little party bubble.
Yes.
And we just want to throw out all these lights. And they're
same. Guilty too.
you know,
yeah.
and then I would see the pictures from our events and I would be like, oh my God, like
How do we
her
level
face
up?
is green.
Yeah.
Like that's because of me. Or there's dots all over her dress, you dummy. Like,
Yes.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and so, okay, like what can we do to still have great lighting, make it look cool, but also make the pictures look awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Really enhance
But
those.
an experienced photographer would like communicate that with you and tell you like, hey, for the first dance, everything else, yes, use all the different lights and green dots that you want to use. But hey, for the first dance, could you just use blah, 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 type of light, a neutral
Exactly.
light or whatever.
Yes.
right.
You know,
True, a
I
that's
agree.
why you need to hire a professional.
Well, and then that's having like good coordination. And I think where
player.
and being a team player, and this is where I think the issue lies a lot of times with newbies,
Yeah.
with people that are new. Like when you're new, you don't know, and then DJs are the worst. We have egos like no other.
Yeah.
You know, so and I think that's people get into the business, and I've seen this. I've seen it on with a lot of different vendors where they're my way or the highway people and
We
not
won't
team
see
players.
them next season.
You know,
usually.
it's and that it's just not good for the experience. Like my mojo gets thrown off if I have a photographer, a videographer, or somebody that's like, I need you to do this or I need you to do that, like right now, and just really bossy and not nice about it, right? And I think it'd be the same way for a photographer if you need to like, hey, sunset's going to happen in a half hour. I know the toasts were scheduled at that time. Can we push it back a little bit?
Yep.
And if the DJ was like, nope,
Yeah.
we're doing it no matter what at that time. It has to be this way.
It's my time.
That's like not
it's
cool,
horrible.
right?
Yeah.
Wedding days are not the day for ego.
No.
ego
No,
trips. Like
it's not
that's
your
when
day.
you gotta.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
We're and I think at the end of the day, we should all be on team bride and groom.
Yep.
Totally.
And
Team couple. Yeah.
Team couple, we're trying to get make it the best day
Yeah,
ever,
that's
and it
should
takes.
be our shared end goal.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the way I feel. So you got to be flexible. You got to adapt,
Yeah.
and
That's why I always ask too. I'll ask photographers like, "Is this lighting? This is what it's going to look like for the first dance. Is this cool?" And I've had photographers tell me like, "Can you give me a little bit more orange or a little bit more amber or white or whatever?" And so it's always nice to be able to collaborate and really just deliver the best product on every single level.
And be flexible and not so
Yeah.
fixated on, like, because for you guys, you're curating like the DJ vibe, right?
Yeah.
For us, it's like, we need to deliver timeless photos, and it's hard to do that with green dots, you know?
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, meeting halfway.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Yep, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, we're gonna move into the last segment that we've got here.
Already?
This is it. We are going back to the music.
Go back to the music.
Great Scott!
What?
You never seen Back to the Future?
See, that's Yeah, no.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm more shook about the chili or this movie. You've
I know.
never
I mean,
seen-
like bits and pieces. It's like Christmas Story. I've seen like bits and pieces of it.
Did you?
Maybe it's because I'm
You've
Mexican.
never seen Back to the.
Yeah, I don't know.
You should watch it with your family.
Hold on, guys.
Back to the Future or
we-
Christmas
we-
Story?
We have
Both, but
we have to pause this podcast.
I'm
and
shook.
I've got it. We've got a screen right here. And we're gonna come back in about 3 hours after we've watched
gonna
Back
watch
to the
'em.
Future with
Go get
Alicia.
some popcorn at the
We're go-
movie theater down the street.
We're gonna at least watch episode number
Okay,
one.
Gotta
remind
watch
me.
the
That's
first
the one
one.
with like the scientist guy. I
Yes.
think I've ridden the ride. There was a ride, right?
yeah, Universal Studios.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Dave
you've been on the
redone it.
ride?
Yeah.
I've never been on the ride.
I read it.
Oh,
when I
there
was
you
a
go.
Okay.
Okay. So
Great. Great
kid.
Scott.
Fantastic.
am I good?
You're
Or
good.
do I still have to watch it?
You need to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to watch episodes number
But I've
one
been on
and
the
two.
ride.
Number
That encompasses it, right?
I love the movie, and I think you'll just love it. It's such a good,
it's
wholesome
a,
80s
you know what?
movie.
It's a good 80s
Who
movie.
is it with again?
It's with Michael J. Fox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Christopher Lloyd.
Marty McFly.
Oh, okay.
Marty McFly.
Time Machine, the
Alright, yeah.
DeLorean.
Okay, so
Like a
you ne-
flying car or something, right?
Yeah. you need to watch episode. I'm so used to movie number one. The sequel is great.
Sequel's
Number two,
fantastic.
and number three is
It's the
eh.
it's the worst of the three, but it rounds out the
Series.
trilogy.
does.
It rounds out the trilogy really well.
There's
and
three.
and it brings it home. And
Oh wow.
you got to do. Your kids will love it.
your
Really?
My
They
kid.
will?
Oh
Your
my
family.
gosh,
I think
Huh.
your
my
family will love it.
kids
Okay.
love Back to the Future.
How old is
We'll do
your
it.
youngest?
12 and 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You'll be about it?
Yeah.
All right.
They'll like it.
This weekend.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
report back.
Yeah, we're gonna have
No.
that. It's gonna be next episode.
More smoothies, and we'll just talk about Back to the Future.
Nice.
That's
recap.
right. Yeah, we
Just don't make me eat a smothered burrito. Ugh.
Oh,
No.
we just have that.
we're gonna have smoothies,
Everything you don't want.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
burritos. I know.
Back to the future.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
I would like lose it. I would
It's
lose it
fun,
because
you
I
know?
love music.
Yeah, and that's what I like to. When our meetings with our couples, I like to think that us, the photographer, those are often the funnest meetings you get to have throughout the whole planning process. And so, yeah, to be able
absolutely.
to dissect their music interests, and I love being able to explain to them that there are a lot of times they'll be like, well, my music interests are this, but what I think everybody's going to dance to is great. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we can still incorporate some of
Yeah.
your music interests. We can find remixes. We can figure out how to do mashups
Mhm.
to where
Cocktail hour.
yeah, right. To
Yeah.
where
Cocktail
everyone's
hour and
having
dinner.
fun and you're still enjoying it. And there's even ways like, say you don't like certain music, but you know a lot of your family members you like it. We know when to play those songs strategically when
Yeah.
they're out of the room or different things like
Yes.
that, right?
Yeah.
But really-
exactly.
Yeah, but talking to them about all of the different music.
So fun.
And my favorite is when you connect, when you
Yeah.
you just align with the
Oh,
same
the
artists,
best.
you know, like,
Yeah.
and you just know what they want because it's exactly what
I
you like
love
to
it.
listen to. So.
Are there songs that are like absolutely we don't play any of that? Like R. Kelly?
So for me,
Or-
so if like if,
Taking it
when you
there.
kind of
Yeah.
get into that, like for me
Yeah.
personally, that when that came out, yeah, and I haven't played any R. Kelly
Haven't
since.
since. What
It's
about you,
interesting.
Tony?
Well, I was saying, I was like, there's not a song I wouldn't play, but like, yeah, I would probably stay away from that.
I don't want to say that I would never play it. I think a couple would have to.
I'd
Like,
have to be
be at-
told
Super
to
gun
play it.
ho. Yeah.
They would have to tell me like, yeah, we really want this played. You know, like "Step in the Name of Love" or something like that.
Yeah,
Just,
ignition.
just because there's
That's
so
the
many
one.
other
It's
tracks.
very wedding-y. Like it does hit it
Yeah.
a
You
lot.
know, like
Right.
I mean, like there's just so many other tracks that I could play and fill
Exactly.
the night, and you'll never
That's
miss.
true.
Nobody has ever missed R. Kelly. I've not once. had somebody-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe you didn't play R. Kelly.
hmm
Like,
No.
or even like Michael Jackson, right? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
one got
I've
kind
had
of
that one.
controversial
It's
for a
been for a
minute, but
while.
that I feel like that's just died off.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, especially if
I
you're
got
playing
Chris Brown just the
Yeah?
other week. They were like, no, Chris
Oh.
Brown. We hate him. I was like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, some of those polarizing ones.
You're like noted.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it makes sense. But there's
Yeah.
not like,
So for me, I
don't
just like it when they tell me.
yeah.
Otherwise-
that's a good point.
Because
Yeah, I can't imagine like mid-set they're like coming. How could you?
Right.
Have
you
you
know,
ever gotten that?
No. No.
not really.
I always ask, what are your do not plays? What
Oh.
songs?
Yeah, that's part of our
The
plan.
Cupid
yeah.
shuffle.
That's part of our
Yeah, right.
planning. Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
No
do?
no line dances is what we'll
Oh,
get.
okay.
And then they'll
Usually.
rally them off. Wobble, Cupid, cha-cha. We don't want any of that. Because a lot of people are trying to stay away
You
from
sound
that.
hurt. You sound mad.
No.
You want the Cupid shuffle.
I
in
like
there.
the Cupid Shuffle, but I don't need it. That's the idea. A good DJ
Yeah.
can DJ for anything and have everyone, but I guess that's probably the one
I
like
can
the most
see
'cause
why
it's
it would
fun,
be
but,
alluring for a DJ. It does like by default. Get them out there.
but it's
You know what,
it's a good tool. That's what I say.
Right.
But it's corny.
Yeah.
If you open up your dance floor with Cupid Shuffle,
It's
outta there.
screaming. I'm at another cheesy wedding.
I
Yeah. Same old
know.
But it's a completely different feel if you've been playing for an hour and then you do like a bouquet and garter toss and people have been drinking a lot up to that point and then you hit the Cupid shuffle and then it's all of a sudden it's like, oh my god!
Yeah.
it's a good
What
tool
the
to get them
heck?
back
It's
on
so
the dance.
funny.
It's just a different execution.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
said, it's a tool in your toolbox.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
need it.
I've had Dua Lipa, Beyonce, Rihanna, Bieber, Kesha.
That people
Pitbull.
say don't play.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's not all specifically, but like,
Bieber?
yeah.
The
Come
Biebs.
on.
Oh my god.
Dua Lipa is what blew my mind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, really? And they're like, I hate her.
So fun.
Don't do
I
it.
love what you said earlier, Chris. How you're like, all music is good music.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry, I'm so unhinged with this playlist because that is my music taste. Like I
the
will
best.
be judged
So-
so hard if someone looks at my style.
I
But when he said that, I was like, oh.
personally love it when we have couples and their music is all
over.
like
over the
different
place.
languages.
Exactly.
They think that it's gonna be bad for us.
Complicate- yeah.
And in all honesty, it makes it way easier.
Yeah.
Because now I can go anywhere.
yeah.
Like I can
Right.
go
We're not
any
bottlenecked.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not. The hardest ones, and we don't get
Yeah,
these.
tell
We
us.
don't get these couples anymore because we have basically done a really good
Yes.
job of filtering them out early
So
on.
nice.
But I used to get couples that would be like, yeah, we really love you guys, but can we not play top 40, 80s hip hop, and we don't like country, and we don't like rock, and we don't like alternative.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's like, well, what do you like?
Like, what do you like?
Well,
And then
I
you
like
look at their
folk music.
Then you look no,
Something
but then you look at their playlist, and then I'll tell them, okay, we'll play whatever you guys want. Just give me a good
general
idea.
idea.
And then I see Rihanna on there, Michael Jackson, George
top 40.
Strait, George Strait, yeah, like, and so then I'll see it on, and I'll be like, oh, so country's okay, and they'll be like, no, we don't really like that, but I see George Strait, Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stick to those, and I'll be like, okay, I've got 5 hours of music here.
Well,
I
it's
can
like when clients will say, yeah, well, we really don't want to get pulled out at dinner. Okay, so all those pictures you see on our portfolio and our showcase, those are all at golden hour.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I know.
you sure you don't want to get pulled out?
We really love your style in particular, right?
right?
But
Yeah.
can you do it
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
interesting.
literally the
in
same.
in a warehouse with no lighting? and-
Yeah. I mean, we'll do it. It's just, it's not going to look like
Yeah.
what you see on our
That's
portfolio.
exactly what it is. And I can do anything.
Exactly. You can
It's
play
just-
anything.
But my thing is like it's like, okay, you've told me that you want nothing but hip hop and
Yeah.
R&B, and then I walk into your wedding and everybody's wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats.
Yep.
What?
There's nothing
gets
I can
tricky,
do. I can
yeah.
play all the Dr. Dre you want, and I can try to force it on them.
Yeah.
and it ain't happening.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Yeah.
so that's where I think it's really important during the discovery process, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
That you figure out like
Yeah.
expectations and alignment, and that
Educating.
and
Yeah.
educating,
Yeah,
and,
just painting the picture of like, okay, this is what you want, but this
Yeah.
is what it looks like.
and then
Make it
I
happen.
also know like like I can't there's nothing I can do to make that happen, and if I'm not set up for success, and I just know like I'm just not the right
DJ for
DJ
you.
for you.
Yeah.
Like
There's tons of others.
yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
somebody's gonna come along that wants that date on Memorial Weekend when that
Always.
is gonna align perfectly with me.
With your
like I'm
style.
gonna wait for that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's nice to be on this end of like business where you can be a little bit more particular.
where you flip the script, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
We're interviewing
it's
the
so
couples.
different than when
Nice.
It's nice.
at the beginning when you never think the phone's ever gonna ring again, so you take
Yeah.
Like,
everything.
yeah, I'll
and
do it. I'll do
anything
it. I can do
Oh,
it.
at
gosh,
$400 for the night,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or $250, whatever you're saying earlier.
So crazy.
And now they don't know it, but
Yeah.
really, I'm interviewing you.
Yeah. When you
know.
send in that inquiry form, we're like, do we align or no?
Yeah.
When they tell you we really like the light and bright, airy, fluffy
Yeah.
pictures.
It's not us.
It's not your style.
So,
like that's
but we
not
know
what we do.
who you could go to.
Yeah, right? We'll
yeah.
put you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, guys.
Well, I think that's pretty good. Puts a bow on it. I mean, wow.
We kind of covered a lot.
It was big. That was a good episode.
Yeah,
it was.
I would say so.
A lot of nuggets.
I want more
in there.
music.
Well,
Like,
it's tough for
send me some
YouTube.
sets.
Copyright. So like,
Oh, you can't play a lot.
so the Back to the Music section isn't on YouTube. You can only access it on Spotify because of the laws. It's
The
kind of So
infringement
well,
stuff.
it takes it
Yeah.
off. It waves it right away.
TikTok too. I got one of my videos pulled from
Wow.
Taylor Swift's team.
Yep. You got to watch out with Tay Tay.
Yeah, isn't that
Fair.
weird?
So that is.
It was concert footage.
Did you?
So
Oh,
I'm like, but I am the copyright holder, right?
that's. I guess I don't
'Cause
know. With
I've
TikTok.
recorded that audio.
Yeah.
I guess
But
it's not my audio, but that's my live concert footage.
Yeah. And
I
I've
don't know.
seen live concert
Yeah.
sets from everyone.
You know,
I don't know.
lame.
Dumb.
Lame-os.
Right?
Come on,
Still
Tay
love
Tay.
her though.
I know.
Would take a bullet for her.
That's Taylor's guilty pleasure
What?
of mine.
Oh yeah.
I really dig the Bejeweled.
Well, she's
I like that track.
an artist through and through. Another like one up there for me
Yeah.
for sure.
I saw that they're incorporating the light up wristbands a lot more at these
Yeah.
concerts, and she really inspired
Yeah,
all of it.
she was, I think, one of the originators
Yeah,
of it, which is
Because I saw
so
Skrillex
fun.
just started.
Again,
thought
the
it did
it at Red
immersive
Rocks.
I thought it was
experience.
Coldplay that started that
Did
did
they?
that. Yeah, I think
Are you sure?
I'm almost positive that Coldplay was the very first light up wristbands at the
Nice.
concert that was all coordinated.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
They're one
I
of the
know, that's
last
super cool.
bands that are on my bucket list to see live that I still haven't
Coldplay?
seen. Yeah.
They'd probably be
I've
really
never
fun.
seen him
I
either.
can't even. I would go feral. Like, in,
Will
talk
Ferrell?
another. Sure. Will Ferrell in Elf.
Will
Yeah.
Ferrell or Colin Farrell?
Oh my
Which
gosh.
Farrell are you talking about here? Cool. Well, this was awesome. Alicia, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
back
thanks for
Appreciate you
having
coming back for
me.
round two.
I would love to. This
Yeah.
is so much fun.
No, we're gonna have we got to keep having you on.
yeah.
Like this is good. Obviously, I mean this is the longest episode to date. So we've
good.
got
I
a
can
lot
chat.
to say
Yeah.
and
And
talk.
you guys are easy to chat with.
That's we.
Yeah.
I mean
Appreciate
we could do this for days for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So but we're gonna go ahead and put a bow on this one.
Aw.
And until the next time, thank you again so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
And we'll see you guys next week.
See y'all next week. Later, y'all.
See ya.
Thanks for checking out the Cutmaster Cast podcast. Make sure you stay tuned with all things related at www.cutmastermusic.com.